Welcome back to the Tool World Podcast. I'm your host, David Jew, and I'm here with Master Jew.
How's it going there, Mr. Jew? How's my hair looking today?
Same.
Same? Just the same?
Same,
Just kind
same.
of
Yeah.
spiky, whatever.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a story. Do you want to hear a story right now?
Sure.
Sure. You know, like when I travel sometimes, and you wake up, it's not the same time zone. You take a jump in the shower real quick. And one time, I jumped out of the shower. I'm like, oh, my hair. I'll just throw some gel on it.
Okay.
Saw
Okay.
President Che, and he was looking. Oh, Joe, your hair is. He said something. Yes, sir. It's the new look. It's the spiky look. The wet spiky look. Anyway.
Gotta look good every time you go out.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Anyways, this week we're going to be talking a little bit about classes. And,
Classes.
you know, different ways that you can actually teach a class, right? And just ideas on our philosophy about it. All right. So why don't you go ahead and start us off with, like, the different kind of classes that we have.
The different types of classes?
Well, you have
maybe-
like a little ninja class that might be, for us, that is 3 to 5 year olds.
Yeah.
And then we have our regular class, which is maybe like young kids, and then you have like a teenager/adult class, and then you have adult classes, and then you have seminars too, right?
Right.
So why don't we start at the lowest one, the low ninja?
Little hawks, little ninja, little tigers,
Yeah, tiny tigers,
Tiny
little
tigers,
ninja, little kickers.
little baby bear
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Baby bear, papa
Right.
bear, mama bear, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You should have a class like that.
So tell me
Baby.
your philosophy on how that class is done, and you've been doing it a long time anyway, so.
3 to 5 year olds.
Yeah, 3 to 5.
You know, I started that little class because of you,
Right.
because that'd be fun.
Yeah. They got sucked into that.
And yeah, I'm not doing that so much. You are though.
Yeah.
Well, it was just for fun. I mean, they are not going to be there listening to you explaining sitting stance, 1.5 shoulder width, L stance, 70% on the back foot. It was just mostly if I could get them to stand at attention and say yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with that.
Right.
So that class, 3 to 5 year olds, yeah, I'm just gonna let them play, run around, kick a paddle. Oh wait, we do that with adults.
Well, it's interesting that class is because some parents have different expectations, right? Sometimes you have a parent who's like, "Ooh, that was great. They just ran around all the time. I love that. That's what they want." And then
Burn off some energy.
Burn off some energy. And then some of them, they kind of
Yeah.
looking a little bit for that discipline aspect about it.
And then you have the other ones like, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah. So it kind of depends on what is the expectation of the parent.
That's
It's
true.
definitely, I find, and
That's
and
very
it's,
true.
It's very hard to tell, like, what exactly is the parent looking for. I think once you get a little bit older, you kind of know, there's only so many things that they're looking for with martial arts, but little kids, especially that young, can definitely vary.
I think you brought something up that's really valid, no matter what, is to explain what your program is and what might be the expectation. If someone was looking for jiu-jitsu or a self-defense, hardcore Krav Maga kind of a thing, right? And you don't tell them, but that's their expectation. They're going to look at your class like, what was that,
Right,
right?
right.
But if you tell them, right, tell them what it is and how does it build to maybe what they really want, then it's okay.
Right. I think that goes back to, like, you just got to have them try out the class. And you don't change the class because they're there.
Right.
It
is what it
is. It is what it is. And so if they want to do it, they can do it. But if they don't want to do it, then,
Find
don't
something
go
else.
somewhere else
That's
and
right.
find what you want, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true. Exactly. So yeah, the little kids, for me, I think the expectation, let them burn off some energy, run around. I'm happy if they can stand at attention, say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. We're talking young kids. So maybe about 5 to 12 is our age range.
Yeah.
5 to 12.
That's
And I know that's a big age
range.
range.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you have 9 and 10 year olds that are like they're like 5 year olds.
and then you have some really young kids who are seem very much older, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
And so every student's a little bit different. But what's your approach to those type of classes?
Yeah, I think it's not just running around, but I think they do have the ability to start learning some things and understand some of the fundamental ideas of Taekwondo, the techniques. And I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, I've had a 8-year-old blue belt. No, I don't know. That's the right. I don't even know what our age requirements are, but
Okay.
I remember having a very young blue belt could answer a question that a 4th degree black belt could not answer. There's lots of reasons. Maybe the 4th degree black belt never heard of it, or maybe was never taught that, or whatever it is, right? And the small junior student happened to be in the class when I spoke about it, but he was able to answer the question. So,
Right.
you know, so yeah, absolutely. I think that age group have fun. You know, high pace. I still think high pace is even adults. I think high pace is a great way to do things and sprinkle in knowledge. I think they can handle it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but definitely more high pace. And in that class, I would say we're talking about the earlier class where the average age might be 7.
Yeah. Okay.
7 or 8, I would definitely say there's a lot more exercise because they're not listening or they're playing around too much. In the old days, we would call it discipline, but not
Right.
so much today.
Right.
Today, we just call them, it's exercise time.
Right.
Anyway, so I think that's where we're at on that.
Okay. All right. Let's jump forward to adults. So you mentioned for adults, you still wanted to be a high paced.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, is that what you think about for all classes? I would remember one master. He posted this video and he's talking about like his adult class, and then he was saying how, oh, that's the time I like to get the sweat on, because he would work out with them too.
Right.
And then he'd go, I one time a student came to his class and then told him, he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go work out over here again after, I don't know, maybe like CrossFit or something, right?
And you're
And
going,
then
"What?"
and he goes, oh, I was so offended by that because, and then ever since then he was like, well, every time they come to class, he should try to work them out hard. And I think that is a different philosophy than some schools. And I'm not saying one is right or wrong, but some might take a more knowledgeable approach. So what's your take on that?
I still think working out. I mean, Taekwondo is a very physical type of activity. There is a lot of detail, a lot of information why we do certain things. I think that needs to be there as well. But I would definitely say that if I give a class and it was tough, physically tough, I generally have more people go, oh, that was a great class, that was awesome.
Right.
But if I have a class that's all lecture, nah,
Right.
you're not getting that.
You get one guy that says it.
So some guys, oh, that was really interesting, right? but when they're just sweating, they're just like, that was a great class. It had nothing to do with Taekwondo. That was a great class.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's true. That is true.
So kind of a balance. I think I kind of think, yeah, you do need to be physical. I mean, if you really want to use it for self-defense, you got to be physically fit.
Right.
And people can't really listen to like little details about something for 20 minutes or
Right.
30 minutes about an L stance. And even if you did, they couldn't do it anyway. You end up having to go, okay, talk about it and then correct them. And then work on it and keep working and then talk about it. And, that's kind of the approach I kind of think works for me. And so it's like sometimes I see assistants or other instructors kind of go so detailed on something. It's like, they're not going to get it today.
Right. Maybe just you do a small tweak.
Small tweak.
work
You
on
let-
this,
yeah,
and let it
exactly.
sit, yeah.
Let them work on it, and says, we could just fix that just a little bit more. And I think over time, that's where it really comes, that's where you can see some results.
Right.
But to spend a lot of time talking, even though an adult could listen to that, no, I don't think that's the best way. I think get them to work out.
Yeah.
And
All right.
correct it.
Last one we have is seminars.
Seminars.
So that's a little bit different. Thoughts on how a seminar should be done?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So who's in their seminar? You know, if it's an IIC, we're probably looking at least black belts and probably higher ranks because an IIC is the International Instructors course. And so if I go to an International Instructor course, I'm not really looking for working out. I can do that on my own.
Right.
I can do 1,000 kicks on my own. I can do 1,000 push-ups on my own, right? Although that'd be a lot of push-ups. What I want to know is detail
Yeah.
of like maybe a pattern or maybe self-defense concept. I mean, you can show me a concept, like a self-defense concept, but then I've got to also utilize that. I've got to be able to try it out, see how that really works so that it can be part of my tool, right, in my toolbox. So I think seminars need to be, it's kind of like what we did with the adults, but more instructional, more information, and of course, you know, doing it. Like if someone's talking about Chunji, I've got to do Chunji, and they're going to explain that, and then I've got to be able to try to do that as well,
Right.
and see if I can implement what was just said. You need
Right.
that as well. So, but definitely more instructional, I think. But if you had a seminar that had a bunch of kids, yeah, it might be just a kids class. It
Right.
depends on the kid,
Yeah, it does.
you know. So,
Right.
and that's also true with adults. I mean, some adults can't do that either. So can't sit there and listen to that. So I think it's different.
Okay.
I mean, but that's what I would think for seminars. So as an instructor, do we teach it differently? And you know, as I've gotten older, it has changed the way I do classes. I definitely would say when I was younger, I didn't really, you look at like some instructors that are like just in a chair and they're maybe out of shape and stuff like that, kind of barking out the command. And if they can bark out the command and the students can follow, that means they're learning something. They know exactly what he wants.
Right.
But for me, as I was definitely younger, I would definitely say, I want to do the class and I want to demonstrate it. Because you need someone to be able to follow. If you don't have, if your highest rank is white belt, how can they actually demonstrate to the other ranks?
Right.
It's very difficult. Even a yellow belt, because that yellow belt can't be that good. So when I was younger, I would do almost all the classes, but then I realized I couldn't do every technique. It just
Right.
wears you out.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, I hate to say it, but you know, those pains, aches and pains kind of catch up. You have a surgery, like hip surgery, and then I'm not demonstrating that jump kick anymore.
Right. Right.
Right? And so you have to have someone else. And so what I kind of find now is that if you have assistant instructors, other instructors, they tend to do what you do. And so a lot of people kind of do it the way I do it right now. It's because I can't really demonstrate it in that fashion. And but I would like, you know, I think General Che did say, when you're young, teach with your body. When you're older, teach with your mind. And when you die, teach with your legacy. Okay, I'm in phase 3.
Right.
Teach with your mind.
Yeah. All right, let us know your guys' thoughts on the different classes that we have. And as always, don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Take one.